Right, welcome back everybody, Sports Federation TV, where we talk about sport in the Western Cape, of course specifically for the federations affiliated to the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation. We have we have pretty much in excess of 100 different sports codes in South Africa, with about 65 odd national bodies all in South Africa and participating in sport, and I think we're the only sports show for sports federations. All right. Coming up on the show still today, we'll be speaking to folks from black powder shooting as well as baseball. But right now it's time for us to take a look what's happening in the world of Western Cape cycling. And one of the young ladies that has just been absolutely blowing the competitors away, she's a 17-year-old Ashley Parsons. Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Are you always so smiley?
No.
Well, okay. I need you to speak loud and smiley.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so you've just driven all the way from Huguenot. No.
From Wellington.
From Wellington, where
Yes.
you go to Huguenot High School?
Yes.
All right. Is that where you do your practicing your cycling?
It is, yes.
Because I hear a lot of people go to the Cape Winelands to practice cycling.
Yeah, we have probably the most safest roads that you can find,
Really?
and we have a lot of training grounds.
Do your parents let you go out on the road and cycle on your own?
Yes, they do.
How did you convince them to do that? Is that okay? But I suppose you cycle so fast, no one can catch up with you.
I wouldn't compliment myself.
All right. Well, then let me do the complimenting for you. I mean, if I just look at your record here, Egypt, that Egypt training camp was the world, which is of course the World Cycling Center of Africa. You went to the trials there in February, I believe.
Yeah, I went to a 3-week-long training camp.
3 weeks. Tell us about that. Who was there? What happened?
First of all, the trip came. It wasn't a very planned thing. It just sort of came up.
Yeah,
there were
as it
spots. Yeah, there was 3 places for South Africans to go, and I was one of the 3 that went. So didn't have much time to brace myself for the trip.
Did you go alone?
No, I went with 2 other.
But I mean, like.
Oh yes,
just
yes.
the 3 kids.
Yeah, just the 3 kids.
Okay.
But it was fantastic. It was an absolute complete different environment, and it was for me the perfect place to train for nationals, which was in February.
Yeah.
And for me it was a lot better to be away from home and not with things that could distract me. And
Make sure that your mom and dad don't watch that part of the show. So, well, I mean, wasn't that a bit scary going, or was it just all exciting? Did you at least know that there was going to be someone waiting for you on the other side?
Yeah, it was. We had a lot of, being an Arab country, we had a lot of forms that we needed to get there. Someone had to specifically fetch us out of the airport building when we landed in Egypt. And at first I was just like, let's go. And when we landed in Cairo, I've never experienced something like that. So yeah, it was a bit scary, being alone. And
in what sense? When you say you have an experience like that, a lot of people, hasn't buzz, or what?
It was just, it's the culture's a lot at to here. So the men are a little bit different to the way they are here.
So you had to kind of quickly adjust to the food.
Yeah, we had to at first the food tasted like absolutely nothing. I mean, the vegetables looked very dodgy, but
and then you adjusted to it.
Yeah, and then it was scary at first, but then it was.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the training itself. Because now that we got the food out the way, and how to change the currency, and where the water is safe to drink or not. The 3 weeks. I'm assuming the training. What was the education involved? Gym training, cycling training. Tell us everything.
So we started off. We first had to run through a set of tests to sort of see who was at what level and who needed to improve what. And then, we trained for 3 weeks, every day straight.
Yeah.
And we basically just covered, the basics of cycling, and then from there just to kind of up it up a little bit.
Yeah. So you kind of increase your levels.
Yeah.
All right. So and did you feel a little bit? So just tell us about the other 2 that were with you.
It was 2 girls from Johannesburg. They are both 2 years older than me. So that was kind of, I had people like adults with me, I guess you could say it that way. But I knew them very well. So met up with them in Joburg and then went across. And it was a perfect combination.
The coaching that you were getting there for those 3 weeks, obviously Africa Cycling Centre, as we call it now, could you feel the difference in the type of skills coaching or technical coaching?
Not really. It was quite similar to what it is here.
Okay.
We had a coach from South Africa that was there as well, so they kind of combined. But it wasn't much different.
Well, that's good news. I mean, it means our coaches here are as good as the coaches of the rest of the world.
No, they definitely are.
All right, okay. Then let's move on. Then it was the Cape Roulier. This was, of course, as a build-up to the African Track Championships.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about the Cape Roulier. I mean, I don't actually know. It sounds to me like something that is something you get next to the Cape Biryani or Cape Lasagna. Now you get the Cape Roulier.
Okay, so it's a 4-day tour. I rode as a guest rider for the Backstead Hot Chili team. So it's not your typical
Hot Chili. That's a big organization to be riding for.
It's
Sven
not
Pikel,
your
I think.
yes.
Yeah,
It's not your typical you know, I wouldn't call it a race you know, it was more sort of a tourist attraction. There were a lot of European people. So we covered pretty much every part of the Cape, you know, on our bikes, which is I mean that's an
international initiative that they and they ride a lot for charity and social awareness and
so that was again not really something I planned to do the year. It just kind of came up, but I saw it as the perfect build up towards African champs, you know, that last bit of base that you can put in before.
Well, we're going to have to upload this section because I know the guys from Hot Chili are going to be they're going to want to see this. Sven and the guys, we follow each other on Twitter and so on. So I think they're going to be very excited to know that you've got this exposure for them. Then it was onto the African Track Champs, as you said. Now the Roulier was a bit of preparation. Tell us about the African Track Champs.
Okay, so that's always been one of my biggest goals, was to go to African Champs. I've always wanted to experience what it was like, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. You know, I did have a better expectation of what it was going to be like. I thought
Where did they?
It was in Durban.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was initially going to be in Cairo, but the track wasn't finished, so they moved it here to South Africa, which was great because I'd already been to Egypt.
Yep, you've already done that part.
So
Durban, a little bit closer.
I did arrive thinking I was going to do a lot better than I did, but the highlight for me was the Madison. We kind of just put a team together and we were like, okay, let's just ride the Madison.
Okay, the Madison is where you've got a partner.
Yes.
So we've got a picture here. Let's take a quick look. We've got a picture here of you and your is that your partner?
Yes, that's Courtney Smith.
Courtney Smith, and there's another picture of the two of you a little bit closer together in your white tops over there. That's of course your cycling kit. There we go.
Yes, those are the African Champs jerseys.
All right, so those are African Track Future Stars Sports Academy. What's that?
Yeah, that is the academy that Courtney rides for.
Okay. All right, so then of course African Champs, you and Courtney in the Madison, and the two of you took gold in this.
Yeah.
All right, and just explain to us, how does Madison work?
Okay, so there's two riders. One will take, so let's say for instance they'll give you 80 laps. One rider will take a lap, and once you meet up again after that lap, you'll throw in your next rider. It's quite tricky because
so you sort of slingshot each other.
Yeah, you
like
kind of
you go past, you
throw
grab
the
them.
person in. Yeah.
It's a little bit like tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
All right, but of course, and you didn't fall off on that.
No,
so it's not really
not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay, and then from the African Track Champs, I mean, which is where you and Courtney took gold medal, which is fantastic. It was the SA Track Champs.
Yes.
And now we're talking about the Kieran.
Okay, so the Kieran was another thing that I don't see myself as a sprinter, and I sort of just went into the Kieran. I was like, might as well just give it a go. And when we came towards the finish line for our last lap, I just sort of looked around me and I was just like, okay, well, let's just go. And I went and I managed to pull it off, and I still can't believe it.
That's fantastic. So you took gold medal in the SA Track Champs in two disciplines.
Yes.
And your mom and dad must be extremely excited and proud.
They are.
Yeah. Who's your coach?
Okay, so I have two coaches. I have Stephen Sargent, he's my road coach, and then I have Kurt Begeman as my track coach.
All right, and you, most of this happening in the Winelands?
Yes,
that's where you
everything
do
in the Winelands.
Okay, next on the cards for you, apparently it's the Track World Champs, and that's in Italy. So you're really getting around.
Yeah.
All right, when is the World Champs?
In August.
All right, so you got a couple of months preparation now. You've just come out of 3-4 months of quite a lot of events, training, traveling. Are you comfortable at the moment that you've had some resting time? Do you need rest time? Do you just stay on the bike now for the next 4 months before you go?
I luckily did take a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
The beginning of the year was very hectic for me, so I did take some time off just to regroup myself. And And yeah, I'm looking forward to the build up towards Worlds.
All right, so it's the World Champs coming up for you. What's going to be your biggest challenge?
Funding.
Funding. Okay, so I see this thing about self-funding. Yeah. How do you guys get money for traveling? Do you represent the Proteas?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that you're allowed to apply for funding?
Yes, I do. But people forget, you know, we're not just jumping on a plane and flying to Italy. You've got to take your equipment, it's wheels, it's bikes, it's everything, your accommodation. So I started a campaign and I pledged for 50,000 Rand to raise to go to Worlds.
Yeah. So how does it work? How do people out there that are watching you right now, the current South African track champion and Kiran champion, Kiran Track Madden, basically you're the champion of everything. If people want to contribute to your funds, to you competing in the World Champs, how do they contribute?
Okay, so you can go to www.progress.co.za, which is a platform that is being created for cyclists to do crowdfunding.
Progress.
Yeah. So my campaign's sort of at the bottom, so you just kind of scroll through all of them. Mine is down there.
www.progress.co.za. ProQuest.
Yes,
all right, folks, we're going to put that in the bottom here as well. ProQuest, if you want to support Ashley's travels. All right, so you're going to the World Champs and make South Africa proud. So if you're watching the show, www.proquest.co.za.
Yes.
All right, and then how do I pledge?
There's just a big donate button. You can donate anonymous as well, or you can go onto Facebook to my athlete page, which is Ashley Parsons /athlete, and then I have contact details on there if you want to donate directly.
So you got a whole pure plan going behind
Got this all sorted.
All right, it's all taken care of. Listen, Ashley, fantastic stuff. Well done. You've got quite a set of achievements here already, and just like you really are making Western Cape. You're making us very proud. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to see your results after the World Champs.
I hope it will be good.
Right, folks, there you have it then. If you want to support Ashley in preparation for the World Champs, then proquest.co.za, go do a scroll down there and why not contribute some of those funds. Any limitations? 5 Rand, a million Rand, doesn't matter? Anything you can contribute. If you like, can contribute, jump in there and support Ashley. All right, Bashues. For those of you that have not heard of Bashues, let me show you. Bashues cool drink is one of South Africa's oldest cool drinks, if not the oldest. 1899. That's where it started. I believe it started all here in Cape Town. You remember, many of you will remember, those old trucks that used to come around, the buckies, and sometimes it was the horse carts, the old Bashues cool drinks, and the guys would come with a crate, and you'd buy a crate of cool drinks, and then you would take your old glass bottles and give it back to the gentleman that was delivering the cool drinks, and off they would go, and then the following week they would come and they'd recycle the cool drinks again. Remember the old Bashues come in the glass bottles, and today we see the people using those old wooden crates, in fact, now as like decorative memorabilia in the house, and so it's fantastic to see the Bashues brand back on the market. So Bashues, of course, supporting Sports Federation TV at the moment. Really incredible cool drink with so many stories, so many old photographs. In fact, if you've got any old photographs or stories to tell us, why don't you send them us to us here at Sports Federation TV? You can see the link at the bottom here. You can always go to our Facebook page as well, Sports Federation TV, and tell us your story about Bashues. I mean, we certainly have hundreds of stories about Bashues, the old Bashues cool drink. How fantastic. Now, if you want to win yourself a case of Bashues, then it's simple. Just SMS the word Bashues to 33090 and you put yourself in the mix to win a case of Bashu cool drink. So it comes in all sorts of delicious flavors, such as pineapple, raspberry, ginger beer, iron brew, cola, orange, and cream soda. And congratulations to last week's winner, Tyler Peterson. Tyler Peterson walks away with a case of Bashues. Congratulations, Tyler. One of the folks from Sports Federation TV will be in touch with you shortly, and you'll be walking away with that case of Bashues cool drinks. Well, it's going to be a bit of a surprise what flavor you get, though. So, folks, coming up after the break, we'll be speaking to the guys from baseball. Of course, the squad from the Belleville Tigers are here at the moment. Lyle McKenzie, Lucas McKenzie, and Bryce McClelland. So, we're finding out what these young chaps are up to. They've got some big tournaments coming up. All that after the break.